See what number 5 is for you. Why he's was that this one? Or you That's not it, is it?
It was number 5, track number 5.
Okay, see. These ain't these.
They not in order.
The songs that was already on here right now.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. I'm trying to find it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Track 5, you said 13.
Yeah, 13 was the first song.
Oh, I didn't hear track 5. I gotta download it then.
Okay, well, I'll play something while we wait.
We don't wanna see it move. Not clap for you. Give me a reason for it.
We had good chemistry, now you're just another memory. Used to give me positive vibes, now it's negative energy. Arguing back and forth about bitches that you never see. Besides being my queen bee, thought you was a friend of me. Now every time we speak, it's like you're talking to your enemy. You don't like how I move, I don't like how you think. I'm on the grind all day. You think I'm chasing these freaks, I say I'm in these streets. You think I'm in between some sheets, you call arguing and fighting. I'm trying to make it home in one piece. Walk in the house, Louis duffel, 100 bands at least. Fuck a mortgage, this give us the power to lease. Told you in the beginning, baby, it's M.O.B. Fuck these hoes, I'm trying to find a wife to make my life complete. Two halves become one whole, 360 degrees. Can't force it though, what's meant to be shall be. For now we go our separate ways, there's no more arguing for me.
Wasn't that enough for you? Wasn't that enough for you? I'm kind of empty. I wouldn't wanna see you fall. Work hard for you. Give you a reason for it all.
It's like damn if I do, and damn if I don't. I can't win for losing, so tell me what the fuck you want. You tell me go left, you go right. And when I think it's all good, you tell me that nothing is right. We need to talk. Now I'm like, talk about what? I've broken, I've bent, compromised at every extent, made every program and every event. You knew I was there, but let you tell it, it's like I don't even care. First you love me, then you hate me, say you want me and you need me, then you leave me and you treat me like I ain't even breathing. I don't beat you, I don't cheat you, I just treat you like the queen that you are. And you should know that I mean it. I know I ain't perfect, I know I did wrong. And when I did wrong, I knew it wasn't worth it. And what you did, you should've knew it would hurt me. Now I wonder if you with me, do you really deserve me? And if I lose it all, will you desert me? Will you desert me?
Wasn't that enough for you? Wasn't that enough for you? I would climb a mountain. Wouldn't wanna see you fall. I'll climb for you. Give me a reason for you.
Alright.
Do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Where are you going to? Do you know? Going to take your time, young man. Mama used to say, don't you rush to get done. Mama used to say, don't you rush to get done. Mama used to say, live your life. Live your life.
say the children are our future, but with so much retribution, they missing out on their future. So much devastation, lack of education, got them twisted in this nation. Though poverty is worldwide, so it's genocide. Every day it's a homicide. These little guys spraying bullets like it's pesticide. The revolution isn't televised. It's the lives of our young black men taken by their own peers and white law men. It's a fight out here. It's like we have no rights out here. That's why we fight out here. God, please save our youth so they can save our truth. When we was young, we was fucked up too. But this is not deja vu. We hate each other and they hate us too. The Willie Rich theory. Now that's the deja vu.
Take your time, young
Take your time, young man.
Mama used to say, don't you rush to get older. Mama used to say, don't you rush the game, boy.
Don't rush the game, boy.
Mama used to say, live your life. Live your life. Mama knows best. Mama always warned me. Her motherly instincts pushes her to inform me. Son, you a black man against a white man's army. Not knowing she was preparing me for the evils out to harm me. The Lou Afghanistan, Medellin is my army. The children of the future dying at a rapid pace. Ready to run up in something and rip off your safe. Extendos on everything, they'll rip off your face. Heaven's paradise, to get out this hell is a race. Police killed Mike Brown over a blunt case. So my Lagoonie said, fuck it, we gon' load up the cave. Hands up, don't shoot, or we all gon' spray. Not promote violence, but what do you do when it comes your way? They took an oath to serve and protect us both, but be the first motherfuckers to slice your throat. I tried to tell them life is so cutthroat. Life is too short, precious times is being wasted. Every day is more precious lives being taken. The last of a fallen generation. Black lives matter.
Is these the last days that we facing?
Take your time, young.
Take your time, young man.
Mama used to say, don't you rush to get older. Mama used to say, don't you rush the game, boy.
Don't rush the game, boy.
Mama used to say, live your life. Live your life.
These little drummer boys, and I ain't talking about percussion. Look, guys playing with drums, 100 rounds ain't nothing. Giving headshots, and I ain't talking about concussions. Murder is the topic of discussion. We used to play kickball and kill a man. Now they literally kill a man, and I don't feel a man. They kill a young fam over a couple of grams. Slow down, little
We
man.
go to sleep to the sounds of them 100 rounds. Another body found slumped in his charger, face down. The number one business in this town is putting bodies in the ground. God, please slow the killing down. From tag football to fighting for a touchdown. Now we fight for our turf, going over blocks now. Mine stay far gone, how the hell I'm gonna slow down? Searching for a better route that's hard to be found. Take your time, young.
Take your time, young man.
Mama used to say, don't you rush to get older. Mama used to say, don't you rush the game, boy.
Don't rush the game, boy.
Mama used to say, live your life. Live your life. Mama used to say. Mama used to say. Mama used to say.
What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your girl, Miss Kiwi, with my co-host, Fast Lane,
What up, what up, what up?
and Mrs. Mink out of ATL.
ATL,
Yeah.
sorry. What up,
Yeah.
ATL?
We got a
Yeah.
good topic for y'all tonight. It's called Not Hopeless, but Homeless. Until you walk a mile in my shoes, what, Miss Mink?
How you gonna judge me? How?
Let's talk about it. If you want to be
Yeah.
a part of the show, call in 515-599-1687. If you experience the fact of being homeless, call in and share your story. It might help somebody.
Yes. We really want to encourage, because we need to enlighten everyone about this. This is actually a pandemic. It really is a pandemic. And it's sad because we have clergymen, we have the government, we have officials in our own cities, towns, states that's not taking this serious. And I know that they are probably trying to do some things, but it is really, really getting out of control. And we really need to take hold of what is going on in our states and in our cities when it comes to being homeless. This is such a touching topic. And millions of Americans are being inflicted with this type of pain. I know a lot of times we think that it's because of this, and that, which we're going to get into that. But you would be amazed as to what different things can cause a person to be out on the streets of whatever city or state or town that they are in. So sit back, strap on your straps, get locked in, because it is really going to be a great topic. We have two guests joining us tonight, Miss Kiwi and Fastlane. Yes, we do.
Okay. Well, who's our surprise guest? That's what's up.
Okay, so you don't see him on the screen. We have M. Peasy, and we have.
All right. Okay. Well, welcome, M. Peasy. Welcome.
It's a blessing.
Okay,
see if I can get
there
y'all
you
up.
go.
Okay, they're gonna want
There you go.
Okay, we don't see you guys though. We don't see y'all up in the place, so I don't know what needs to be adjusted.
Okay.
But we can't see you guys.
Okay.
And we must definitely want to make sure that everybody is knowing who is a part of this topic, because this is something that's really serious. This is something that we all have hearts
we can't see the other two guys
that have been touched,
Until they start talking.
that need to, be able to relate to this topic and know how serious this topic is. So we're going to let our guests kind of get us started in this, on this journey of what can we do and how can we change the mindsets of others that pass judgment on the folks that are out here homeless. Just because you're blessed don't mean that your mess can't end up getting you in the same situation. So we're gonna start. Miss Kiwi, Fastlane, what you got for our guests first off?
Well, first of all, I would like to say it's a blessing to be here. And it's a blessing to have y'all here with me. You know what I mean? And like, you never know what tomorrow gonna bring. So for starters, when you wake up in the morning, that's your first blessing. Because ain't nothing guaranteed, you know what I mean? Because even our Father who loves us dearly, he will knock us all the way down just to lift us up higher, you know what I mean? So, we have to be careful, and the main thing is count your blessings. That's like, no matter how good it is today, no matter how bad it is, you got to count your blessings, because, if you wasn't in the physical, then you wouldn't even know what's going on around you. So the blessing is first to be here. You know what I mean? So you can't judge nobody else's situation. You never know what we go through along our journeys. Everybody's journey's different. You know what I mean? And you could be up today and you could be down tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, I understand, because it was a time where I was able to go where I needed to go, get where I needed to go, hop on a plane if I needed to, drive what I needed to drive. And God knocked me all the way down to get my attention and put me in a wheelchair. And I couldn't move unless somebody moved me. You know what I mean? So, like, that ain't comparing to being homeless, but you just never know where you're going tomorrow. So you have to be thankful no matter, because, see, once you get in tune with him, because I realized when I was down, he put me there for a reason. See, I was blaming everything and everybody else until I realized it's a reason, because I know he had me. So I had to understand, if you got me, why do you got me right here right now? I got so much to do. You know what I mean? I need to be places, but he was showing me the main place and the most important place you need to be is right here where I got you right now, because I got something for you right here. You know what I mean? And that was me learning how to count a blessing in a time where I thought it was a curse. You know what I mean? That's what like the gift of the curse. He had something for me right there. So you just never know where life gonna lead you.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. So we're gonna jump in and let our guests start. So I would like to introduce our guests as far as name, and then I'll let them tell a little bit about them and where their journey has been through, this particular topic or subject. Just how it is that they relate, whether it's going out and feeding the homeless, being homeless, recovering from being homeless, whatever that journey may look like. So MPZ, we're going to give our lady guest the first opportunity. This is Miss Linda Johnson. Welcome, Miss Linda. How are you?
All right. Welcome. Thank you for coming. How you doing today?
I can speak on that from being a senior citizen myself. And first of all, I want to say that we sometimes think that it won't happen to us. And we have to remember that things happen for a reason. Our lives was already predestined out, and sometimes that we can go and maybe not make things happen, but we can deter our journey. And being a senior citizen, I know that there's a lot of people that's out on the street. They're not out there because they want to be. I have a saying, there by the grace of God go I. We are all one paycheck away from being homeless. So let something tragically happen and we could be in those same shoes. But a lot of people that are out on the street, they're out there and they also are not only dealing with being homeless, they're also dealing with mental issues. And I can say that, taking myself, 4 years ago, well, I was being disobedient because God had told me to do something and then I didn't do it. And then when I did make up my mind, I said, Lord, why me? At 69 years old, I went back and I got a degree in healthcare administration, which is my second degree. My first degree is in business. And my thing now, what God is working with me about is to work with the homeless, work with seniors that there's a lot, you'd be surprised, or maybe not, the seniors that don't know their rights, that don't know where to turn to find out things that are, that they are entitled to. And there's a lot of seniors that don't that don't understand Medicare, Medicaid, all the different avenues and things that seniors have to deal with. And then you take not only the seniors, you take the homeless. There's people out on the street. Just because they're on the street don't mean they don't have rights. And they don't know their rights. So that's my goal, is to work with seniors. And in fact, I counsel a lot of seniors because they don't know. Well, you see them in Walmart, they're trying to sell you insurance, and they say, this is what I need, when in that reality, that's not what they need. But the homeless people, you're dealing with a different class of people. You're dealing with people that, for whatever reason, they're out there on the street. Whatever caused them to be on the street, it's not our place to judge them. It's not our place to say, well, go get a job. We don't know what's going on in their head. We don't know what their life was like before they came out on the street.
That's right.
And they'll tell you, and a lot of people say, well, the homeless won't go to shelters. They won't go to shelters because they are afraid. They are afraid. They don't trust anybody. they are afraid that what little they have is going to be taken from them. So we as children of God, we need to put our arms around them. We need
So
to rally around, help them. I mean, I I have a heart for seniors, even though I'm a senior citizen myself, and I have a heart for children.
okay.
I hate to see a mother on the street and they don't, and she has children. I have fed a many a mother. I have given them what I had, shared with them. If we just do that, just all they want is someone to show them a little compassion.
So Miss Linda,
Show
can I
them
ask
that,
you a question?
yes, ma'am.
Did you say that you were did you say you were homeless once before, or did you just speaking on
No, I was. I've been there.
okay, okay,
I've
okay,
been there.
okay.
And believe me, you think your family is behind you, or you think that you know why that person is homeless. When I say I was homeless, I mean I went through a bad divorce and I lost everything, and then I got where I couldn't pay my bills, so I was homeless. But by the grace of God, God put someone in my life, and she's still in my life, that said that, you know what, no matter what, I got your back and I'm going to be there, and I am so thankful for that. And that's why I'm so passionate about homeless people, and that was what made me decide to have to do my degree in healthcare administration, to be a patient advocate, or to
All
be an
right now.
advocate for people, because people, like I say, homeless people, they are already dealing with whatever they're dealing with. Then a lot of them are dealing with mental issues, and then a lot of them are dealing with, I don't trust anybody. I'm afraid you're gonna take what I have. When you see them pushing those buggies, that's their world in that buggy. And they won't, that's why they won't go to a shelter, because the shelter won't allow them to bring
They're
that with
bugging.
them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so they're not going to turn it loose, and they're not going to leave it.
So
So go ahead.
so I was just finna ask. So, just listening to you talk, you're out of Oklahoma, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Can you just tell the people like some resources of, maybe where you got, to help them out? If you just wanted to give somebody some resources, do you have any to give out, or can you tell somewhere where they can go if they needed shelter, or maybe even just help? Period.
Well, here, there we have a lot of Catholic churches, and they have uh, a lot of resources. Where, I mean, the good clothes, food. The church I belong to, we have a food bank in our church. We also have clothing, and I belong to different organizations that we do that. I mean,
Okay.
that's what we do.
Okay.
Also, another thing that I find that I do it, my sons do it. My sons live in, well, two of them live in Texas. Then I have a son live in Louisiana. They buy backpacks, and they go. You don't have to get expensive things. They put socks, towels, the basic things in
Okay.
those.
That's a blessing.
And
That's a blessing.
they keep those in their car. And when they see someone, they say, "Mom, I don't know. I'm afraid to give them money." And I told them, I said, "You don't always have to give them money."
Right.
And so we came up with this idea of, filling up the backpacks.
Okay,
And when you see them,
that's what's up.
give them backpacks.
That's what's up. Well, that's what's
We
up.
love
I
you,
appreciate that. I appreciate that, Miss Linda. But we also want to hear from our other guest, M. Peasy. You on the line? We'll come back to you though, Miss Linda, so you can speak some more. How you doing this evening?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
All right now.
Yeah, this is a pretty interesting topic here. You know, it really I really resonate with it, touch home, because I most definitely been one of those ones that was homeless, and there was a lot of lessons behind that. You know, a lot of different choices. One of the things that really kind of stood out to me, well, it was a couple of things that the lady Linda said was, you know, she talked about the mental illness, and I think that's one of the biggest things I want to start, because along with that mental illness, you know what I'm saying, you have addictions, and you have a lot of other things that send a lot of people into a whirlwind. But the fight doesn't start right there. The fight really starts within. It's eternal, you know, and the way we view things and the way we've been conditioned to deal with things, we kind of have a tendency to forget who and what these people are that's homeless. And these are family members, these are brothers, these are sisters, these are mothers, these are grandparents, you know, and I have to say, you know, because some of them would tell you quick that it's a choice that they made, because some of them ain't out there with a mental illness, some of them ain't out there with an addiction, some of them made the choice, and a lot of them made the choice. The ones that have made that choice made the choice because of the system that they up on. You know what I'm saying? The things that we have been subjected to by the society, the world that we live in. So, you know, you got to most definitely recognize them, because I think those are the ones that has become the backbone and has really kind of basically started taking the lead to guide those ones that's out there with mental illnesses and those that didn't have the strength to make the choice to be homeless. You know what I'm saying? Because of their mental illnesses or addictions and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, you know, with that being said, you know, it's a hell of a struggle for those that are conscious. You know, we can't just point the finger on those that in their mind has worked hard to maintain and be able to continue to hold that debt that they have down. And what I'm talking about specifically is the lifestyle. You know, those that are fortunate to what they consider to be fortunate to have a home or to have a roof over their head, to have food, shelter, and clothing. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, that's part of that conditioning state. That's part of that thing that sets you up for failure, because that become their world. Just like Linda was talking about how the homeless just take those few little things and put them in a buggy and push them around from place to place and set up their tent or set up their spot and live from that, you know, and be comfortable every day. It ain't no different, because, you know what I'm saying, just as much as mental illness and trauma that they going through, it's homes.
Mm-hmm.
It's families that's suffering with everything in the world. They got homes, food, shelter, and clothing over their head, but they going through mental illness. So the reality of it is, you know what I'm saying, are you really blessed? Are you really hopeless because are you really on top when you consider yourself to have a roof over your head or be able to put food on your table and stuff like that? Because, you know, it's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice for everything, you know. And you know, you have to sacrifice your integrity. Sometimes you have to sacrifice something, a part of you that you really ain't ready to sacrifice. You know what I mean? And can end up in the same situation.
So
can end bankrupt, homeless.
So not to cut you off, I want to ask you. You speaking from a point of view as if you've been up under them tents or something before. So I mean, like,
Most definitely, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start, with a story that I really experienced, man, that really kind of changed my thought pattern around as far as dealing with homeless people firsthand, and being a homeless person. I'm gonna jump over the fact of how I got there, which I turn around and touch that. But I remember I was I was homeless and I was addicted on drugs, and I was in a place where I wasn't familiar with nobody or nothing, you know what I'm saying? And I can remember a time when those same people, I'd been going for days. I mean, like 2 or 3 days straight, and I was so tired and I didn't have nowhere to go. And we was on the side of a store. And a couple of brothers that was homeless told me, he said, man, go ahead, lean up against the wall, man, sit down on the ground, man, get you some rest. We gonna watch, we gonna look out for you.
Wow.
Come on, these homeless dudes. These are people I look at as being scoundrels. These are people that look at it as being, you know what I'm saying, they ain't got no limit, and when I woke up, the little couple of dollars that I did have in my pocket and the little food that I had brought was still right there, and they were still standing there. I felt like when I woke up, I felt like I slept for about at least 2 or 3 days, which is really that exaggerated. Wasn't that long, but I got enough rest is my point. You know what I'm saying? And so, that made me have a whole different view, because one of the biggest things that I dealt with, as far as myself, and turning to drugs and being, out there in them streets doing everything up under the sun was that lack of trust. And the things that the faces that I put the trust on, or felt like I can trust, you know what I'm saying, was nothing like the faces that were the people that when I was homeless and I was on the streets and end up having to trust. You understand what I'm saying? And so those people, you know what I'm saying, those experiences taught me, that trust don't have a face. It don't have a boundary or a limitation on who you can give it to, and so that changed my idea, my perspective on homelessness, and home and being homeless people. Some people don't understand that, some of these people did make a choice to be out there. Some of them people, man, been fighting, within themselves, fighting them demons within themselves, and couldn't conquer them, man, and people gave up on them. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have that help or someone to turn to, and they didn't know what to do. And us as a community, us as Black people, you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be more specific. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us feel like, a lot of our life or the things that we have is who we are and what makes us, you know what I'm saying? And that's how people see homeless people. They don't have shit. They out there dirty, they bums, they ain't got no water, but that's how it all began for us if we really look at it. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have all the stuff that we had. We didn't have the luxuries, or our forefathers or our parents and all that kind of stuff didn't have the luxuries that we had, that we later end up having, you know what I'm saying? And they made a way, you know what I'm saying? So I say that to say that, before we give up and we think like, you know what I'm saying, that they scum or whatever, man, I feel like, man, that's where we should start at as a collective, as a whole, man, to really start studying and getting back in tune with ourselves and getting back in tune with our people is to go out there and reach out and help the homeless. I go out, you know what I'm saying, ever since, I've been fortunate to continue on my healing journey. That's one of the things that I do at least once a month on a Saturday morning. I get up, I don't care if I ain't got nothing but a couple of dollars and some buns and go get some hot dogs. I go to, one of them neighborhoods and I can holler at them and put the hot dogs out with them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Grab a bottle of waters and something. I'm going tomorrow morning.
Whereas that might look
What
like
city you
nothing
in,
to
bro?
somebody else, baby. That's $1 million meal to the next person, you know.
Yeah.
So hey,
I'm in the ATL. I'm in the ATL.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I have a question for you, MPZ. So when it comes to, you know, as I stated, a lot of people feel that it is people's mental state, just mental state. And as it was that, you know, I was doing research and I found some really good information. You know, people would be amazed as to how many people are in your own state and city homeless. They're homeless and don't have a place to go, or they do have a place to go but refuse to go there because it's as much chaotic in that place where they do have to go than it is on the streets.
Yep.
So was that something that you can kind of relate to? You are Miss Johnson, that you can relate to as to when it was that you were out on the streets. Do you feel that the streets was more of a secure place or home, as you can call it, versus where you know, may have had the opportunity to lay your head?
Ms. Johnson, Miss Linda, you want to touch on that?
You know, I feel that out on the street was at that time for me was better because one thing I learned about homeless people, they will stick together.
Wow.
They will stick together. If they find some other person or other people that they trust, you know, they will stick together. Like he said, that they will look out for you while you rest or watch over your things and all. So I feel that, and I do know here that since I've been doing a lot of studying on homeless and all, we have what's like day centers and stuff. And the people that I have, you know, talked to, they feel that the reason they don't want to go to those places is because they feel that the people that run the places take things from them, so they'd rather stay out in the street with the people that they know or feel comfortable around.
So I have a Miss Kiwi, can you give that number out for our viewers to call in? Because I have it's kind of like a heartbreaking to me, but this is this gentleman's feeling. Whereas he stated, me, myself, I think homeless people make their own choice and run away from their problems. What do you have to say to that, MPZ?
Most definitely. You know, I agree with that to a certain extent. You know, I mean, of course, you know, a lot of people feel like that people run away from their problems, but when you really think about it, you know what I'm saying, I think that, you know, it's a problem when, you know, you can't recognize that that you know, people are not, everybody I put it like this, everybody has a position, right? Everybody has a certain mental capacity in which they deal in, you know, and some people, you know, deal in that capacity to the extreme, and some people can't even deal in it at all. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, my question to that person, and then at the same time, you know, what I would say is, you know, how many of us have took the time to recognize, you know what I'm saying, what we didn't contribute or what we even know about, you know what I'm saying, facing a problem, you know, or what we didn't replace in our lives. It may not be drugs. It may not you have left and ended up on the streets homeless or whatever. But how many of y'all out there drinking? How many out y'all partying? How many of y'all out there gambling? How many of y'all became church fanatics and sitting up in there shouting and praying and then leaving church and it's cursing your mom out or cursing your wife out, beating your wife and this and that? You know what I'm saying? Those are all issues. Those are all mental issues that we deal with, and we replace them with some type of situation and that, you know, or other, you know. So my thing is, like, when the brothers say, you know, he feel like they make their choices to be homeless. I mean, and they run from their problems. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. If they went to the streets, if they had anything, a roof over their head, food, I mean, even just a little bit, and they left that situation, they was already in a problem. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They felt like they ran to freedom.
Yeah.
You know, it all depends on how you look at it.
I was just finna say that because, you know, like, on the outside looking in, we all see different opinions of somebody else's journey, you dig? But a lot of times we be going left and then we turn right thinking we should have went left, but it was something left for us. So even those that's homeless play a part too, because those that got a home, you wouldn't recognize how important your home was if you didn't see those people out on that corner making a home out of that corner. You see what I'm saying? So when you come from the mud, you realize like you really can't say what somebody else should have did, because until you in their shoes, that's what we was talking about. When you walk a mile in my shoes, then you can say that, because some people make decisions real good, some people don't. You know what I mean? Yes. Some people know better to do better. Some people don't know better. And some people can't handle the pressure. Life could put pressure on you where you think you in control, and next thing you know, you done lost everything. You see what I'm saying? So it comes down to us trying to just like knowing our position. Some people strong, some people weak. Some people could survive, some people can't. Some people could go to school, some people could just work. You see what I'm saying? It's bosses, it's workers. And what I'm saying is it's so many different lanes, and we put expectations on people to expect them to understand how we understand, or think how we think, or be able to be strong like when we strong. But even the strong get weak. You know what I'm saying? Because when you carrying a load on your shoulders so heavy and it start busting you down, and you the one who always giving everybody advice, or you they strength, you everybody else strength. You start feeling like you can't even turn to nobody to talk to. You see what I'm saying? So now you fighting that battle alone so much. Now you confusing yourself. You see what I'm saying? But see, you only know about that when you go through that. You see what I'm saying? So that's just like somebody that lose everything. You can't really pinpoint like what he should have did, because it's a lot of times we would be filthy rich if we woulda, coulda, shoulda did. You see what I'm saying? But what life teaches you is you're going to lose some to win some, you know what I mean, if you're willing to learn that lesson. You see what I'm saying? You going to believe or you not going to believe. Some of us do, and even the ones that don't believe teach the believers to be thankful for the faith they have. You see what I'm saying? And those that's out there on that corner also play a part, because if you didn't realize, I mean, if you got any sense, when you ride past those people and you see where they at in life, you instantly better think about yourself and know that I might have thought I had it bad, but I ain't out there in the cold trying to figure out where I'm finna go get some warmth from. You know what I mean? I ain't out there in the rainy days where it's ice cold and you like, man, I'm finna go in. Everybody can't say they finna go in. Exactly. So until you that person that's really out there, you can't say that I'm gonna go in and you don't even know where going in is. You know what I mean? Or you done lost everything. When people lose everything, most of the time they don't lose it on purpose. They just didn't know how to hold on to it. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of us as people, as really, when we really say as a people, I'm talking about the same builders that taught everybody else how to do everything. We pass judgment so much on ourselves, so much that we destroy our own people. We don't help each other no more. We help the world build everything, and now we can't even help each other. You feel me? So it comes down to, we got to quit casting so much judgment about, oh, they should have did this, or they don't know how to do this, or you made choices. We think we got control, like we say. If we really had as much control, until you learn how to control, you going to lose a lot. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And until you learn how to manifest, you will not talk things into existence. You see what I'm saying? You're going to lose things. You're going to talk yourself out a lot of wins. Exactly. You know what I mean? And that's just being real. And that comes from losing. Not because I won a lot. I lost a lot to understand what I'm saying. You feel me? And I also done sat with them bums or whatever they want to call them or people to me because them people, it's some of those chosen ones to me have taught me some of the most valuable lessons in life. You see what I'm saying? But only a fool would think that they're just a bum or they're because they don't have what you have that they can't offer you nothing. You see what I'm saying? But we all learn though, because see, sometimes even when we sitting up at that top, we get knocked back down because it was something down at the bottom for you. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly. And you know that makes a lot of. I mean, it's just so much that you guys have stated that topic wise, you know, that makes a lot of sense. Me, myself, I have been blessed. And as far as not having to actually be on the streets, but I've been homeless within, meaning that from a homeless within inside of a building.
Okay, girl, come on. Come on now. Hold on. Now, hold that thought, Miss Mink, because I just need to call this number out. 515-599-1687. 515-599-1687. Come on, we got some good stuff. Y'all better come on, get in.
Yeah, so you don't have to be out on the streets a lot of time being homeless. That is something, you know, that can drive a person to the streets. I'm not making a choice of, you know, just running out to the streets or whatever the case may be, but I could, for the simple fact of what it is that I may be dealing with in my life alone could drive me to other things. So like you stated and alluded to, Fastlane, hey, and it's not only the strong that survive, because let me tell you something, it's some weak ones that have survived stronger and came back around much wiser and stronger than those that consider themselves strong. Let me tell you, I had, you know, my son, and I'm not gonna go into his story, but he was homeless at one point, and Mr. M. Peasy was a mentor that actually helped from that standpoint, because when he was in the shelters out on the streets, he refused to come home only because of pride. It wasn't like he didn't have a home to come to. And then what it was that he was dealing with, that mental issue, he did not want to come home to put that impact on me. So he stayed out there and he dealt with what it was that he dealt with, and what he was doing while he was out there, he was finding himself.
Yes, he had to go through it.
Through the help of those that were out there with him, and homage to M. Peasy, because he was out there with him too.
In the trenches, baby, in the trenches. Yeah.
Hey, that kid is amazing right now. He turned it around.
Look where he at.
You didn't know him. You didn't even know him now, man. You know what I'm saying? He done went to the service. He serving his country. You know, he in the army, and he struggled with mental situations, man. And now, you know, it was amazing how. And I didn't mean to cut you off, but it was amazing how when he really got to a point, how he stepped away from that so-called mental issue. It just went away. Do you hear me?
He was focused.
It went away. It wasn't. And he was going through medications. He was going through delivery. He was going through it all. Everything.
Baby, don't tell me what God can't do, baby. Allah, whatever the name you put. Hey, don't tell me what He can't do. He can do all things but fail. Yeah.
I give a big shout out to man.
We don't mean to cut you off. We don't mean to cut you off. Just hold that thought, brother. Hold that thought.
All from Patrice King.
Hello. How you doing on this evening? Welcome to the.
Hey
there.
How y'all doing?
All right.
Blessed to hear your voice.
Hey, you know what? Why not say it? Y'all talking on my topic.
Yes.
And you know what? And I just want to make a couple of comments. I too was homeless, but I was out there homeless as a female with 2 children. Wow. And, you know, people have a tendency to prejudge homeless people, not knowing their circumstance or situation for being homeless. And I was homeless because I couldn't get an apartment in my name as far as the utilities because my name was used and I couldn't get utilities in my name. But I want to say this. In the process of being out there homeless, I met a lot of knowledgeable people. And when I was able to get up on my feet and come out the shelter, then I started an outreach ministry. And I began to give back by going out there with the homeless and helping with their needs. And I even housed some homeless people who were professional people. Do you hear me? And I'm talking about because of life and life issues, they ended up homeless. They weren't on drugs. Some were out there because of divorce. Some were out there because of losing their jobs. They was out there for various reasons, but they had professions. You hear me? And people have a tendency to look down on people that are homeless and prejudge them and say, oh, they all on drugs. They all, dealing with mental health issues, this and that, because they've never been where they are. But they always want to prejudge. But I'm telling you, you talking about wisdom and street knowledge? Check with some homeless people, and they protect each other. They protected me and my team when we would go out there to help them. And I remember one time my daughter and one of her friends was coming from the tunnel, which was under Greyhound bus station in St. Louis, and the police stopped them and pulled their guns on them. And she's like, hold up. We're just down here helping the homeless. And he was like, do you know how dangerous that is? And she was like, sir, it's not dangerous down here. They help us. We take them out and, bring them back and all of that. And they could not believe it.
Because they ain't never tried to go down there to see.
You don't get out in the streets with them.
Exactly. Yeah. You can't talk about nothing if you ain't experienced it. But a lot of people do a lot of talking about other people's stories. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't never experienced it. So.
And then not only that, but God is no respecter of person. Some people are out there homeless, and they are more witnesses than the people in the church.
Man, yes, ma'am. They got a lot more to offer.
Helping more than the people in the church. The people in the church are behind the four walls of the building, but let them come out to the streets. They ain't coming.
No, sir.
Hey, that's why he said be careful when you're entertaining strangers, because you never know when you're entertaining angels. Because you don't know who you're talking to. So you can't judge nobody. You got to pay attention. What's for you is for you. So if they got something to offer you, you better grasp hold to it, because you don't know who he might send our way. And see, so when we out there, we got to be open for that. But then see, that's why he said a foolish man think he knows it all. So when he think he know it all, he ain't listening. He ain't open to hear their story or their struggle.
And I don't mean to cut you off, but I went from being homeless to homeowner.
Come on now. Say that again, sister.
And home provider, and provided plenty homes. Matter of fact, you also do.
And you know what? And I gave back when I became a homeowner. I allowed homeless people to live within my house and within my van in my driveway.
Yes.
That's why we have to be very careful.
Right now, talking about the homeless.
Yes, well, talk to us then.
Yeah, because we need to bring. It's not that it's not being bought, but I feel like this needs to be touched on more. Don't get me wrong. I love animals. I have two myself, but they do a lot of advertisement for shelters for the animals. And come on, adopt these animals, but you don't rarely see commercials or to help the homeless and tell somebody where they can go get shelter or a meal, or people have become so into themselves. Yes. It's sad out here. It's sad, and everybody want to be somebody, but a lot of us ain't nobody. And the reason being is because we so selfish within ourselves. It's about us. And until we start making it about other people, we're not going to progress, And, hey, we're going to keep on perishing because we have a lack of knowledge. And it's very sad. Very, very sad. But we got that knowledge to get on that social media and be half naked, though. Or put them snuffleupagus eyelashes on. Or that hair all the way down to our ankles. We got that time. Yeah, well, I'm saying. And I can talk about it because I've done it. I'm a beautician and I've done it. But you know, when you know better, you do better.
But that's why we having this talk now, though. You know what I mean? Because it started right here addressing it. You know what I mean?
Hey, can you guys hear me? Hey, real quick, I want to send a shout out to Patrice King. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, cuz?
I'm good. It's good to hear your voice. Send much love down there to you.
Thank you.
We're glad to hear you.
And you know what? I remember when I had the outreach ministry in St. Louis. I took y'all mom, Aunt Lorraine, and a lot of elderly people out with me, and we went into areas that people were afraid to go in. I took a couple deacons from a church with us. Do you know I turned around to see if they was behind us there when they got back on the bench?
Don't do that. Oh man, wait a minute now.
Hey, so that was a sign of their faith.
We went down in Tent City and all the other places we went, and it was not an issue. I'm talking about they would be waiting on us.
But you know what?
They loved us and we loved them.
Yeah.
But you know what? God always know who to send his real soldiers. You dig what I'm saying? The deacons wasn't his real soldiers. It was you, your auntie, and the rest of y'all. You know, sometimes it don't always come in a man form. You feel me? So hey,
Listen, real quick, y'all. Hey, I gotta get up in the morning. I'm the various topic we talking about, man. I gotta.
All right now,
man. I'm going out to feed some homeless tomorrow. Hey, but I love you guys and I appreciate you guys for having me.
All right.
God bless you.
We definitely be praying for you.
Always. But before you go, MPZ, come on, put your book out. Tell us, give a shout out. Yeah. Come on, tell us what you're doing.
Make sure you go to Amazon.com and you can get the second book that's out now. Manuscripts of a New King. That's out right now.
All right now.
Amazon.com. Lose your mind, find your soul. That's what's going on, man. Life is good. I'm just moving forward, man. You know what I'm saying? Alhamdulillah. Appreciate everybody. I love you.
All right now. Thank you for coming out. We appreciate you. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you.
Good one too, man. Y'all keep the topic up, man. Y'all talk about this. People hear y'all, man.
Yes, all right now.
Love,
thank you.
bro.
Salute.
All right, we love you.
Salute.
Yes, appreciate you. Yeah.
All right.
Come on, call on in and talk to us. 515-599-1687. We appreciate
so, Patrice
you.
King, you still with us?
I think she hung up. Oh, okay.
Miss King, you on the line?
I'm here. I ain't going nowhere.
Okay, we glad you ain't leave because you're just getting started. We still want to hear from you, you know?
Hey, it's all good.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, in reference to the homeless people, that's a community that knows how to love and look out for not only each other, but for others as well.
Wow.
And don't prejudge them, because you know what? It could be one of us today or tomorrow.
You better know you can blink it, baby. Man, you one of them footprints away. Just remember that. Just one footprint away. One check, as Miss Linda said earlier. I'm telling you, man.
You know?
Yeah.
And you know what? And the thing of it is, the homeless are getting younger and younger nowadays. Because what's happening is they're kicking the youth out of the system once they turn 18, and they kicking them out there with nothing. And they're ending up being homeless.
And that's what we need to do. We need to cry out to the people that we vote into office. Come on, you all need to step up. Take your place, your rightful place. Since it is that you've been voted in office, you need to stand up. We have things that's going on instead of all these other politics fighting over taxes and money and
everybody
all
else country.
Okay.
Right.
You know?
We need to step up and do what it is that you need to do in your cities, in your states, for the people.
Yes.
You say that you for the people, and the people are who it is that's voting you into office, then you need to stand up, be strong, do what it is that you need to do, and take your rightful place and do what needs to be done. There are people that's crying out, so many people that's crying out in reference to needing that help. Not everybody is a scam artist. Out here being homeless is not a game. It's really not a game. Anytime it is that you can pass a person that's out there when it's so many degrees below zero,
they can't be faking.
But I do have a question though. A comment, question, or whatever, because you know sometimes you do, because a lot of people that you see out here on the street has made this a
hustle.
So sometimes it's hard to tell, but I just feel like when God placed that on your heart, you give and don't question it, you know.
That's right.
But sometimes if he don't place that on your heart, it's more of a good deed. But is that good deed really in God's honor? You feel what I'm saying? Because you might be doing a good deed, but it's really more harmful to that person than being a good deed. You know what I'm saying? So it just sometimes be hard, but
you just got to go off your heart. You know what I mean? Where if you feel it on your heart, just do it. And if you don't, then just don't put so much thought behind it. Keep rolling, because sometimes you got to help yourself too. You know, along this journey, we, you know, like that first temple was within ourselves. And I mean, you got to take care of the temple within yourself as well. You dig what I'm saying? And I'm not saying in a selfish way. I'm saying like them days you don't give, if you don't feel like you should, you might have needed to give it to yourself anyway. You know what I mean? Because in order to give anything, you got to be in good condition to give. You know what I mean? So, and then sometimes if you didn't give it, you might not have had it to give. It might not have been that time. You know what I mean? Yeah. So don't put so much thought into it. Do it when it's on your heart to do it, and you can. You know what
That's
I mean?
right.
That's
and
right.
you know what? And when you giving from your heart, once you release it and give it to that person, that's between them and their God. That's what they do with it.
Yes,
That's
real talk.
That's true.
So you can't put no thought with it. It's out of your hands because it's from your heart. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Linda trying to talk.
What I see out here is, you asked the question of how you know where they can go for resources or whatever. Well, it starts, like you say, with the people we vote in office. There is so many empty buildings, schools, office buildings, and things that they do nothing with. They rather turn them into high-dollar, high-rise buildings that no one can afford to rent, when they could turn them into hotels or rooms for homeless people. And I think that would be a start. I mean, and I'm not sure if my son told me this or not, but they're like, and I think he told me in Texas that they build these tiny homes for veterans and for homeless people.
They have them in schools.
Yep. And they charge them little or nothing to stay there, or they stay there free until they can get on their feet. It starts with the people that we put in office. I mean, we vote them in there. And that you say they are not for the people. They are all about themselves. And that's a start, a big start right there, because it's a need. It's a big need.
Yes, and you're right. There is so many vacant buildings. Instead of these buildings being derelict, then find something that can be done with those buildings. Help. That's all it is. I mean, you know what? Sometimes you have to go in the slums, as they call it, to be a part. That's why, walk a mile in my shoes. I'll never forget that I did a dissertation before it was that I graduated from college with my criminal justice degree. And I was so nervous to do this dissertation, but my dissertation was around until it is that you walk a mile in my shoes. How can you part your mouth to lay judgment on me? Mm-hmm. And when I say that it was a room full of 300 people, college professors, it was some congressmen, it was some city officials, state officials that was there, along with college students. And I was so nervous. But when I got through, I had a standing ovation, and that made me feel so good. So I say that to say that the more voices that are expressed, that we need to help be heard. That's why we ask for our callers to call in, because this is all about helping our communities. And homelessness doesn't have a true color on it. It's not just brown people. It's not just white people. It's all over the nations. It's in different countries. Homelessness is a pandemic, and a pandemic is something that impacts a multitude, not just certain colors or anything of that nature. So it's about helping the multitude get some form of housing off the streets. A lot of them need education. A lot of them just need help to get off of their addiction. I could go on and on.
So let me ask you all this, because they were talking about on the news that they were going to pass a law to get rid of the different facilities that house homeless people, and how they were, trying to clean up the streets on getting the homeless people off, because it's becoming toxic with all the trash and all of that. So what do you all think about that?
Okay, where are the homeless gonna go?
I don't know. I didn't hear that part.
They
you know what? And even go ahead, Linda. I'm sorry.
They talk about this all the time, but they don't have a solution, or they haven't put a solution out there. Like, where are they supposed to go? You're going to get them off the street, but where are they going? You haven't made any place available for them to go to.
Mm-hmm. Well, they trying to shut the places that's helping the homeless down. So I'm with you.
And
where are they going to
Not only that, but they also, even the shelters, you have to be out of the shelters like at 6 o'clock in the morning. Wow. And then you talk about the homeless, how they trash up these areas. People come and feed the homeless, but they don't have trash cans and stuff out there for them to put their trash in.
Right. It's just sad. It's sad.
Well, they've even in some places downtown here in Tulsa, you can't even feed the homeless anymore.
What?
They have stopped people from feeding them because they said they wasn't doing any good. What? So you want us to stop doing what we're doing to help them, but you don't want to help them.
No, they don't want to do that. That's too much like right.
That's crazy. I ain't never heard that. That's crazy.
That's why I said, when I got my degree, my intentions was, and I'm still praying to the Lord for an answer on that. My intentions was, when I got my degree, was to open a hotel for the homeless. But there was criteria that you had to meet. They had to be social workers. There had to be people to get people off drugs. There had to be people to help you get a job. I mean, there was all different criteria that you had to meet, but you got all that in one place. Mm-hmm. I'm still praying to the Lord for that. If I can think of that, why can't our politicians think of that?
Absolutely.
Well,
absolutely.
Why can't they? I just think they don't care. They didn't thought about it. They don't care. A lot of them just don't care.
That's the bottom line.
But you know what? I want to say this. When I was in St. Louis, a girlfriend. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I keep interrupting. I'm sorry.
Nobody was speaking. Go ahead. Nobody was speaking.
No, but I remember when I was in St. Louis, me and a girlfriend of mine, we had opened up a transitional home for men. And in that transitional home, it was right there on Natural Bridge off a street. But anyway, we would train the men. We would have addiction classes and all of that. And she began to get grant money for this program that we were doing. But she was misappropriating the funds. And I had to come from among that.
Yeah.
People will start getting money for the homeless through grants and stuff, and they'll use them for everything but that.
Yeah. That's how a lot of people knock their blessings, though, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, people take a lot for granted. It's a lot that is taken for granted when it comes to, you know, that. So, I mean, you know, I did some research and I was just kind of looking to see. It's so interesting because the larger the city, the more homelessness there is. But there is also a lot of derelict buildings that can be filled or used for other things. There's ways that, you know, you're fighting for different laws to put other things in place. What about fighting for this? This should be a constant fight. It most definitely should. California is the highest when it comes to homelessness. There is 167 plus thousand people that are homeless there in California. In New York, there is 99 plus thousand people out on the streets of New York. The lowest amount of homelessness in this state is North Carolina. So how can our politicians feel that this isn't, you know, we fought so hard for, well, not we, because I didn't take the COVID stuff, but they fought so hard for COVID, passing these different laws, and you got to do this and you got to do that. However, nothing for these people that are out there that are subjected to COVID, that can pass COVID. It could be passed in the masses out there, which it was amongst the homeless, but nobody is trying to resolve that issue. Sometimes we have to be a part of the solution instead of a part of the problem. And that's a big thing that I feel a lot of our politicians are a part of the problem and not the solution.
Because for one, they feel like that's not their problem for real. So they really ain't going to address it.
Well,
until it hit home.
By making them suffer and getting rid of them. You know what I mean? They feel like it don't help them, so it don't matter.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And they look at them as not even being human for real.
Exactly.
So something touches
home.
Home.
Exactly.
Until they got to pull up and try to find one of theirs, and they find one of theirs amongst them, and they realize one of theirs been surviving amongst them that they will call them, and now they realize, like, wait a minute, now it's a problem because one of mine is out here too. You know what I mean?
So, I got a question because I know that I've done it, and we, you know, are talking about the topic of homelessness, and I just want to ask, how many of us are contributing to helping towards a solution, or even just getting out there and giving our time back when it comes to, you know, just helping somebody in need that's out there homeless? I heard Minister Patrice, you know, she used to, and I wasn't a part of it, but I know about what her works have been in St. Louis, not only just for homelessness, but for foster children. I know that Sister Linda has stated the same thing as far as to what it is that she does. I always, when it is that I know I may not tithe and offer like what's expected, but I feel that I tithe and offer because what I'm doing is giving to the joy of God. When I see a homeless person, I spend $100 out of every one of my checks, and I buy gift cards. And when I buy these gift cards, if I see a homeless person on the streets, I'm going to give them that gift card. Go get you something to eat. Go to Walmart and buy you a blanket or whatever the case may be. I give gift cards. That's something that I had always, and I really started doing it when my son, you know, became homeless. But not only that, I have given to charities for children, children that are in shelters and homes. We, as for the company that I work for, we do a lot of community outreach. So just recently, I had posted, I think on Facebook, where we had went to one of the parks here, one of the major parks here, that homelessness is so avid. And it was people out there giving away clothes, blankets, people driving up, giving away blankets. It was people that was feeding the homeless. The line was wrapped around the park, and we were out there cleaning it up. And a couple of homeless guys approached me. And they told me, they said, ma'am, you just don't know how much this means to us that you guys are out here like this, because you making the place cleaner. He started even helping picking up some of the trash, that was laying around. And he was getting on a couple of people. You see this right here? Pick up this trash, put it in this trash bag. And we even asked them if we needed to, because it was trash cans around there. And what touched me the most was these little kids. It was a day that they had school. And when I say that park was filled mostly with kids, then it was the adults. I literally had to leave and walk off the site because I started crying. My heart just went out because these babies were out there, and a couple of them was fighting over a loaf of bread, So, we talk about it, but how much of that talk do we walk?
And you know what? And I can say this in reference to, I work at an alternative high school, and I help a lot of students get into transitional living programs that are homeless, because we have students that live in their cars. We have students that, what they call couch surfing and all of that. But I can say this. I received one of my degrees because of 3 homeless men. When I was working at Blue Cross Blue Shield, I would go to that park and I would talk to the homeless. And they told me, they say, you know what, you work over there at Blue Cross Blue Shield, but you're in the wrong field. You need to be doing counseling. And that's how I decided on what to get one of my degrees in.
All right now.
Because of those homeless men.
Yeah.
But we all can contribute in some kind of way. And Michelle, that's an awesome idea in reference to the gift cards. And they don't have to be much. It can be $5.
Especially for
It can
Walmart.
be whatever. And that way they can get what they need.
Wow.
Instead of, people saying, I don't want to give them no cash. They going to get something to drink, or they going to get some drugs. Get them a gift card.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you know what?
So
giving
smart.
them a gift card too, make them kind of get some type of sense of, oh man, I got me a card. Whether it's a Visa, a Master, or just a gift card, it make them feel a little good. They be quick to flash that card.
That's
you
smart.
just
I'm gonna do
you
that.
never know,
especially
boy.
for Walmart.
Yes.
Because you could go get from groceries.
Know how much on it.
You can go, especially to Walmart.
Exactly.
Because Walmart, you can go from groceries to clothes to socks to whatever.
Right.
You can,
Exactly.
Yep.
Household goods.
And you can even use them at Quick Trip.
Exactly.
To get you something, get you a sandwich or a salad or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's
I know gift card anywhere.
That's an awesome idea.
Right.
I'm taking that. I'm gonna
Me
start
too.
doing that too. Michelle.
Me
That's
too.
good.
Yeah, she
I'm
woke
telling
me
you,
up with that one. Yeah.
I think I've spoken to you, Minister Patrice, before about, my feelings on tithe and offering. But I feel that if we get in the street, Jesus Christ was
outside.
He was
outside.
People.
Jesus Christ was homeless.
We go out into the streets. All it takes is just a little bit of your time. We can't continue to talk about what it is that we want to see happen. We got to be a part of what it is that we want to see happen. And until it is that we do that, we can stay in the comforts of our homes as much as it is that we want to. But we're going to be brought out.
Yeah.
We're going to be brought out. We're going to be brought out soon. So we have to be mindful of how it is that we are showing up and showing out, especially if it is that we proclaiming that we are God's children.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes,
That's good. Yeah. And a lot of things we take for granted. Yeah. You know, something as simple as walking into a warm house, being able to turn on a cold faucet of water.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Being able to flush the toilet.
Being able to get up and walk to the toilet. Okay. Being able to get up and walk to the bathroom. Okay. You know,
you're right.
Being able to get up and being able to get out your bed
and breathe.
Exactly.
Being able to wake up in the morning. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nobody promised tomorrow. You know, being able to make it home.
Yes, man.
Like we don't even realize like it's so many blessings. That's why he said the most valuable things are free. We count money so much that we don't realize we passing up all the most valuable things. If we don't wake up, you can have all the riches in the world, but if you ain't got no health, you can't enjoy it. You see what I'm saying?
That's it.
And that's when we all get knocked back down to reality. You know what I mean? Because you can have your head all the way up in the sky and you don't realize, you might be all the way up there, but we all going the same direction. So it's what you do in between the time. You know what I'm saying? You can stay all the way from everybody else and don't play no part, and that's all you worth. You know what I mean? Or you could be in the mud, and that's where we have been. Everybody on this topic has been there or even dealt with it, took time out, because even to take time out, that means you're stepping into that wave, that arena. No matter how you look at it, the ground level, I say that, you know what I mean? And in order to go to ground level, you got to go to ground level. And when you go there, it's a feeling that you gon' feel. It's like anywhere you go, it's different vibes. You know what I mean? You can walk in some churches and you feel like, I don't supposed to be here. Or you can walk in some and you feel like, wow, man, you get the chills and you get the shakes, and it's like, man, I don't know what's going on, but there's something going on up in here. You know what I mean? Or you could be walking down the street and talk to a stranger or one of the people that they call bums, and they take you to church like you ain't never been. And then you looking at them like, man, who was this person I was just talking to? How you coming back looking for them again, and they ain't never there. Nobody even know. Like, I don't even see this man. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't seen it all where, like, that's what I learned since a youngin'. Like those people that some people look the other way because they feel like they ain't got none, or they the bum or whatever they want to call them. I done sat and talk with him, and next thing you know, he done enlightened me. He done read my whole life, and I know I don't know this man. You know what I mean? So at that moment, I knew he was sent to me. You see what I'm saying? So after that, I started paying attention. Them the people I go searching for. I'm waiting for the conversations because I know they might got something for me that's more valuable than the ones that's acting. You know what I mean?
That's what I was just finna say. Or you could just listen to Why Not Say It and call in on 515-599-1687.
Yes.
Hey.
And it's just like, you know.
And you know what? When you said that, Skip, you reminded me of when I was in the shelter. This lady had came in. I was just getting out the shower. And she said, it's you. And I'm like, what do you mean? This lady started telling me my life history. I never seen her a day in my life. We stayed up all night talking. And when it got daylight, I walked her to the bus stop. And I was walking, and I heard something behind me, and I turned around. And when I turned back around, the lady that was walking with me, that had been in the shelter with me, giving me my life history, she was gone.
Footprints.
Footprints. Hey, Trees, hold on.
Footprints.
Wow. Hey, look. And you know what's so deep about this, Trees? Your son, J-Rock, if he was on the phone, or if he was on the air, me and him was in a Chinaman in U City. And we talking, and next thing you know, this man, I take one step back, and I stepped on this man's foot. And I turn around, it's this old Italian guy, right? Old white guy. He was Italian. He was real old. And you and
hold
on,
that
just
I'm
one
sorry.
moment.
Hold that
We got
thought.
a caller.
Hold
We got a
that
caller.
Hello.
Hold it thought.
Hold that
Yes,
thought.
we got a caller.
Caller, are you there? Oh, I think we lost that caller. I think we lost it. Caller, if you can hear me, call back. Call right back, caller.
Yes,
we apologize. We're trying to get you on the line, and I might have hung up on you, or you might have hung up before I can answer. Call back. Okay, go ahead, fast line.
Yeah, but I stepped on the man's toe, and he told me, like, I said, excuse me, you know what I mean? And everybody in the Chinaman, they think they ain't hearing what we saying, so they thinking like this young black guy, he being ignorant with this older, he like, I'm talking about dressed up like he out the 20s. For real, like I'm looking like this man don't even look like he had his time. It's crazy. J-Rock looking at me like he steady tapping my leg like, cuz what y'all over there talking about? But he didn't know I stepped on the man's foot. So when I apologized to the man tell me, he throw a Black Panther sign like, do you know what that mean? And I'm like, no, sir, I don't. What do it mean? I'm thinking he doing something racist, so my instinct is like, I want to know what you telling me. You know what I mean? So when he tell me, he said, you know what, you got one of those old souls. So now I tune in when he say that. You know what I mean? I'm like, what you mean by that? He all like, he's like, do you know your grandfather? I said, Now he touched me because I'm like, I never met my grandfather, sir. Like that. He like, you remind me of your grandfather. He said, you know what, you got an old soul like that. And then he told me what he was doing. He said, that's a Black Panther sign. Now this coming from an Italian man. So I'm like, it threw me off. So now J-Rock paying attention to the conversation. Yo, sir, to tell you. So I'm like, as he telling me, he said that back in like early before the Black Panthers party started, he said he had became homeless. He separated from his Italian family and ended up wherever the Black Panthers originated, I guess in Oakland or wherever it started. I'm not sure exactly what city, but he said he ended up in this city with these black people and they took him in.
Hold that thought. We got a caller. Hold on. They calling us back. Hold on. How do we get on the call? Hold on. We're going to get you there.
I think you got to push something up there.
Up here? Answer the call.
Answer the call.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to answer it, baby.
Your nail's too long. Your nail's too long.
My nails. And we just lost the caller. I don't know. I can't get it to answer.
Call back. We having trouble answering the call.
I can't get it to answer.
They are trying to answer you. They're in the studio.
Man.
Why not say it?
Why not say it, baby?
But as I was saying, like, so the guy telling me, like, he said that the Black Panthers basically took him in early in their party, and he said that like his family was searching for him, and when they finally found him, they asked him who took care of him, and it was the Panthers who took care of him. So they wanted to do whatever they could to help the Panthers. So they played a part of funding the Black Panthers movement. Basically, this is what this man telling us in the Chinaman.
Yes, caller. Can I?
Just one moment.
Are you on the line?
To accept, press 1.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna get you together. Caller, are you there?
Yes, we are.
Hello. Hello there. How are you doing on this evening?
This is Miss B from Arkansas.
All right now. Hey, Miss B, we ain't heard from you in a minute.
Miss B, we've been waiting on you to call. We knew this topic was going to hit you.
That subject that's going on tonight.
All right now. Talk to us, Miss B. Talk to us.
Okay, let me say this. You all, whoever the guests were that was on your own show, honey, they put some thought in my mind about what we can do with the homeless folks. And you know what? Let me say this. There's so many of these jobs that's closing down, or they're getting ready to lay off these car industries, that there's going to be more people than we know that's going to be out on the street. And people better give it some thought as to which way they're getting ready to go in this lifetime, because it's going to be more homeless than we know. Because people ain't going to be able to afford it with the cost of living that's going up now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You make a very, hot topic there, because you are right. Even on my job, we've been experiencing some, layoffs, as well as some of our stores have been closing. So you're right. You do not know. Just like they say about death, you don't know the day, the hour, the time.
That's right. That's right. So, Miss B, are you still there?
I'm still here, honey.
All right now. Well, Miss B, talk to us, because we got to wrap it up, and we would love to hear what you got to say. So go ahead and finish what you were saying. And
Well, I was listening to the news today, and all the GM car industries is getting ready to do a big layoff. And the cost of living is going so high. And you know what? They cutting people with food stamps and all this. But all this have a lot to do with your subject that you was talking about tonight. You know, the ones where you talk about the homeless folks. See, people better be careful, because they don't know what road they getting ready to go down.
That's so true.
considering about that homeless situation.
That's true.
Because you never know who might be in it.
That's right.
Okay, so thank you.
That's right.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. Well, Miss B, we sure appreciate you for calling in.
Yeah,
Miss King, we also appreciate you for calling in. And we're about to wrap this up, but we must do a part 2 because this is a much, much, much needed conversation topic. You know, we need more people to interact and call in. You know, tune in.
Now, y'all be blessed now, honey. Just be blessed with what y'all doing. So it's like God's got his hands on y'all, what y'all doing with these shows.
All right, now.
Thanks, Miss B. We
all right, thank you.
We appreciate our callers like that.
Appreciate you all.
We love you, Miss B.
All right, now. Till the next time. Why not say it? Stay tuned next Friday.
Yes, Miss B. We appreciate that. All right, so this has been a very, very hot topic. As Miss Kiwi has stated, we are going to revisit this topic. As a matter of fact, we're going to bring it back sooner than later. Because this is something that we want to make sure that we are reaching our politicians. We are reaching those persons that are in place. We need to call the pastors, the ministers, all up out of the church homes and go into the streets where our people are needed. There is help that is needed. We can't stay behind the 4 walls of where it is that we lay our heads or where we preach that sermon or wherever it is that we're within those 4 walls. We got to take it to the streets. Amen. It's time now. There are so many people that's out there in need, especially with our homeless. Because there is so much that's happening in this world today, and our homeless are being inflicted with it. They may be even a part of it, but it's because of their situations and certain things. And it's not to make excuses, but what I am doing is that cry to our government, that cry to our statesmen, our councilmen. We have to get this changed.
All right, now we thank you, we thank you, we thank you. Once again, we would like to thank our guests that came through, called in. We appreciate you much. We love y'all. Till the next time. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you. Have a good night.
Taking Polaroid. Cuz I don't see you nowhere. Where you at? I'm right here, cuz. I can't hear it. Look, stop all of that capping, bitches. Real, I don't do no social clout. If that nigga say he love me, tell his ass take a bow. Word for word, he mouth to mouth. I'm like, baby, slow it down. Glorify this whop and don't stop till you hear this mackin' sound. Kicked up with my feet up, smoking hookah, making ghetto noise. Walking in the